Well, here at Trinity, for those of you that may be guests with us, before the sermon we have what's called a Worldview segment. And the reason we do a Worldview segment is because we believe as a church we exist as a spiritual crossroads, where moral, cultural, social, political, economic issues collide with biblical truth. We base this moment on a verse of scripture out of the Old Testament, 1 Chronicles 12:32, where it says, "The sons of Issachar had wisdom regarding the times in which they lived, and they knew what they should do." Today, Christians need to be able to discern the times in which they live for two reasons. Number one, you need to be informed so that you can know how to pray, so that number two, you can be personally empowered to act, to actually do something. Acts chapter 2, verse 40, Peter said, "Save yourselves from this wicked, perverse generation." And it is wicked, and it is perverse. But not only are you to save yourself, in the process, you're to help save others. And as times get tougher, sermons can't keep getting weaker. So I want to compliment our city, the city of Lubbock. Congratulations, you voted down Proposition A, which was to decriminalize recreational marijuana. And I never doubted you. Thank you, Lubbock. Thank you, Trinity Church. So many people worked diligently for this, and it's something to thank the Lord about. I believe our city serves as a model city across America. We became the first largest city that became a sanctuary city for the unborn, and now we're the first largest city that said no to the decriminalization of recreational marijuana. It's a good thing. Did you know that there are approximately 19,500 incorporated cities, towns, and villages in the United States of America? 19,500. And we happen to live in one of the premier cities in all of the United States of America. I know we're not a perfect city, but we are a blessed city. Can we thank God for Lubbock, Texas? And this is very important. There is a clear pattern that's emphasized throughout Scripture, that there's always this relationship between God and man. Most of the miracles recorded in the Bible occurred in conjunction with human participation, which highlights the key aspects of how God often works through human agents to manifest his power and his plan and his will in the earth. Let me give you three quick examples. The first miracle that Jesus performed at the wedding feast of Canaan in John's Gospel chapter 2, here is the human participation. The servants were to fill the water pots to the brim with water. Here's the divine action. After the human participation, Jesus miraculously turned the water to wine. So the principle is very clear. Obedience to Jesus and his instructions, even when they seem ordinary or nonsensical, was a crucial element to this miracle occurring. The second example, the parting of the Red Sea in Exodus 14. Human participation. Moses stretched out his rod over the sea. Divine action. God caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all night. And it's close to 2 million Hebrews crossed over on dry land. The principle, Moses' action, was a critical element in the unfolding of this miracle. Once again, there is the divine action of God, there's the human participation of man. The final example, and there are many in the Bible, is the feeding to the 5,000 in John's Gospel chapter 6. Here's the human participation. You know the story. A young boy offers his 5 barley loaves and 2 small fish to Jesus. Here's the divine action. Jesus takes those 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, lifts them up to heaven, blesses them, breaks them, and then feeds the multitudes. The principle behind that, this little boy was willing to give what little he had and made way for Jesus so that his miracle provision could be provided that day. So friends, these examples underscore why even though God is all-powerful and capable of acting independently of us, yet he often chooses to involve human participants in his miracles. And this teaches us 3 important lessons. First of all, it's a test that builds our faith, how we trust God. It also fosters participation in our relationship between God and human beings. And thirdly, it serves as a powerful testimony to both how we participate in our witnesses of God's miracles. And when Satan, who counterfeits everything that God does, when Satan wants to achieve his goals in the earth, he makes use of human agents. Satanic action coupled with human participation. For example, wicked Haman in the Old Testament, in the book of Esther, was inspired by Satan to kill innocent Jews. We see the spirit of Haman in the world today, in this hatred for the Jewish nation. Judas Iscariot was a human agent filled by Satan, became a pawn in the hand of Satan to betray the sinless Son of God. Hitler, Osama bin Laden, politicians and entertainers and powerful, wealthy people in the world and in America today are becoming human agents that are being influenced by Satan to bring about further destruction in our world. That's why we, as ambassadors of Jesus Christ, we are on the winning team. We are instruments. We are weapons in the hand of God, and we must be the vessels that God continues to pour out his blessing upon the earth. We cannot be AWOL. We need to be engaged on the field of faith, advancing the cause of Christ in these last days. As Isaiah prayed, Lord, here am I, send me. And that needs to be our prayer in these last days. Lord, here am I, use me, send me.